Well, what about SelectQuote, Pete? Because this one exploded to a new 52-week high. Now, you look at that chart and it looks fantastic. I agree. Looks fantastic. You know, it's backing and filling. This stock was in the 40s, Pete, just a couple of years ago. And they get a big strategic investment. And you know what, folks? I think somebody had an inkling, like we say, that maybe they were going to get that big investment from Bain, because at $4.36, Pete, somebody came in and bought a lot of those February 450 calls, the right to buy it at 450. Well, what's that worth when the stock's $6.63, Pete? Well, it's worth $2.63. You paid 43 cents for it. How many times does that one go into the other? Well, let's call it about a 500% return, Pete. Not 2%, not 5%, 500%.
Yeah, hit a new high today, 685. I mean, everything you're talking about, John, they recapitalized. They had multiple folks that are in this whole thing as they were going through this, from Morgan Stanley to Bain, and you name it. They got a couple of board seats. They got all of that. Margin strength, yes. The revenue up 19% year over year. That's a big number. We like, I always like that comparison better than what they were doing as far as like what was expected on earnings. Are you growing? And yes, they are. They're growing pretty well. As a matter of fact, even the membership growth that they've got, John, is up 54%. So they raised guidance. They should raise guidance. I'm sure that they've got something in the future that looks pretty damn good right now. With all of the help that they're getting, this is great. And as you point out, imagine that. Somebody actually sniffed this son of a gun out and got a couple of calls in there that did pretty well.
Yeah, well, and Pete, you can see why somebody might want to put a lot of money in them here. Because at $40 a share, it's a far cry from 1/10 of that valuation where it was just a week ago. Mm-hmm. So yeah, SelectQuote, insurance, health insurance, and so forth. Some of those companies got hit pretty darn hard, but the government does throw a lot of money at these health insurers, folks. This is one to keep an eye on. I'm agreeing with Pete. And even though it's up big today, still up very strong, I would not shy away from this stock.